Welcome to the podcast An Alcoholic Explains. I am Waihiga M, and today we're going to be talking about the early alcoholism warning signs. The warning signs, of course. Actually, the warning signs is one of my favorite songs by Coldplay. Anyways, let's get into the introduction. Alcoholism is a chronic disease characterized by an inability to control or stop drinking despite adverse consequences. It is a prevalent issue that affects millions of individuals and families worldwide, often leading to significant health, social, and economic challenges. Early detection of alcoholism is crucial as it allows for timely intervention and support, potentially preventing the progression of the disorder. Recognizing the early warning signs of alcoholism can be the first step towards recovery and a healthier lifestyle. So, what are the signs that you might be an alcoholic? Well, one, if you have increased tolerance. One of the earliest signs of alcoholism is increased tolerance to alcohol. Individuals may find that they need to consume more alcohol to achieve the same effects they once did with less. This change indicates that the body is becoming accustomed to alcohol, leading to more frequent and larger amounts of consumption. Over time, this increased tolerance can contribute to physical dependence. The second sign is loss of control. A significant early warning sign of alcoholism is the inability to control drinking behavior. People may plan to have only 1 or 2 drinks, but end up consuming much more. This lack of control often leads to binge drinking, which can have serious health and safety implications. Furthermore, attempts to cut down or stop drinking may be unsuccessful, highlighting the compulsive nature of the disorder. The third thing is neglecting responsibilities. And this goes for absolutely any addiction. Addiction is actually the word. It's defined by the inability to show up basically for your responsibilities. If you are using a substance or a behavior is causing you to not be able to show up for your day-to-day responsibilities, that is a problem. That is a very, very, very big problem. As alcohol becomes a central part or central focus in an individual's life, other responsibilities may be neglected. This can manifest as poor performance at work or school, neglecting household duties, or failing to fulfill social obligations. This individual may prioritize drinking over essential tasks, which can strain relationships and lead to further isolation, of course. 4, withdrawal symptoms. Experiencing withdrawal symptoms when not drinking, keyword, when not drinking, is a critical indicator of alcohol dependence. These symptoms can include anxiety, tremors, sweating, nausea, and irritability. In severe cases, individuals may experience seizures or hallucinations. The presence of withdrawal symptoms often compels individuals to continue drinking to avoid discomfort, perpetuating the cycle of addiction. Drinking in risky situations, that's the 5th. Engaging in risky behaviors while under the influence of alcohol is another early warning sign. This can include driving while intoxicated, using alcohol in dangerous environments, or combining alcohol with other substances. Such behaviors not only pose immediate risks to the individual but also to others, potentially leading to legal issues and accidents. 6, changes in social life. A noticeable change in social interactions and relationships can also signal the onset of alcoholism. Individuals may begin to isolate themselves from family and friends, preferring to drink alone. Alternatively, they may associate primarily with others who encourage or engage in excessive drinking. These changes can lead to strained relationships and a lack of support systems, exacerbating the problem. 7, preoccupation with alcohol. This is a very good point. I would also say obsession with alcohol. And preoccupation with alcohol is a hallmark of developing alcoholism. Individuals may spend a significant amount of time thinking about drinking, planning when they can drink next. Yeah, I used to do this a lot, planning my next drink, or recovering from the effects of alcohol. I also did that a lot. It would take me about 4 days to recover from a hangover. So this obsession can overshadow other interests, hobbies, further narrowing their focus and lifestyle. Okay, so we've spoken about a lot of things here. Mainly, we've spoken about 7 points. 7 early warning signs of alcoholism, and I want to just touch on them. My problem with these warning signs is maybe they can look obvious to the person who is watching or looking at the life of an alcoholic, but to the alcoholic themselves, this stuff is just not obvious. It is just not obvious. It's not obvious that you're slowly becoming an alcoholic, because after all, to become an alcoholic is for those other people out there, you know. Alcoholics are supposed to be those people in trench coats who drink out of brown, paper bags under a bridge, and they're homeless. That's who alcoholics are. And then you think about yourself, whoever you are, wherever you come from, and you compare your life with the life of a person who you think is an alcoholic, and you start saying, no, I mean, that's exactly what I did. I can't be an alcoholic. I mean, the thought never even crossed my mind. How can I be an alcoholic? First, I'm a woman. Second, I'm young. I'm really young. Like, I was in my early 20s, late teenage years. So you're telling me I've just turned 18. I'm legally allowed to drink, and now you're telling me I have a problem with alcohol. I'm not allowed to drink. I'm an alcoholic. That is stupidity. That makes no sense to me. So why is everyone allowed to drink around me, but I'm not allowed to drink? No. I can't be an alcoholic. An alcoholic looks a certain way, dresses a certain way, or doesn't dress a certain way. Doesn't take showers, is not in TV shows, doesn't act. An alcoholic doesn't go to college, doesn't go to school, didn't make it out of high school. A college doesn't have dreams and a whole life ahead of them. An alcoholic isn't a person who's working and has a family and, loves their life. An alcoholic is just a bum, under a bridge. That's who an alcoholic is. So me, I'm not that. So whenever people would judge me or tell me you're an alcoholic, or they would say, your drinking is really increasing, or this or that, they would make noise about my drinking, I wouldn't believe them. And they would point out, or they would try to express these points that I'm giving out to you. Your tolerance is increasing. It seems like you're having a loss of control with your drinking. You're neglecting responsibilities. Well, of course, they wouldn't say it like that nicely. It'd just be like you're effing up. You're not going to class anymore. You're not going to school. Or you're not showing up for your acting jobs. And when you are, you look like you've really been through the ringer. Your hands are now starting to shake in the mornings because you haven't drunk. So you're experiencing withdrawal symptoms when you're not drinking. When you decide to stop drinking, your hands shake, and you feel awful. Yeah? So you get tremors, you have sweating, you have nausea, you're really irritable. Drinking puts you in risky situations. I have been there, done that, especially as a female alcoholic. this is something that I've really experienced. Not something that I really want to delve into right now. But of course, awful things will happen to you. You're a female, well, both. You're a female or a male. You're drinking to the point of, unconsciousness or blacking out. People will completely take advantage of you. And to this day, I don't know exactly the details or the particulars of certain events. I'm very happy that I don't remember certain things. On the other hand, I do remember certain things, and then I'm beginning to remember other things. So that's not fun. But, it's just another reason for me to understand why I really should not be drinking, and why I'm the type of person who just does not do well with alcohol. I'm allergic to alcohol, and I have given up my right to drink. Because if I'm getting so drunk to the point of endangering my body, myself, and this is not intentional, obviously, but it comes as a byproduct. It comes as a result of my drinking and the way my body chemistry ingests alcohol. I will black out. And being a woman out in any society, if you black out, not even if you black out, if you're out in the middle of the night, things are going to happen to you. Sexual assaults, rape, getting beaten up, stuff like that. And those are things that certainly happen to me. It definitely takes a lot of time to heal. From such experiences. And I must say, when certain things like that would happen when I was drinking, when those traumas would happen, especially the sexual traumas, I just leaned more into the drinking. The drinking basically caused it. The drinking put me in that predicament to begin with. But then I would just use the alcohol to try and forget that I've just been assaulted, I've just been raped. It's very hard to say the word rape. I've just been raped. I've just been through this situation. And I've just had to go through what I've had to go through. But towards the end of my drinking career, I did ask myself certain questions when it came to alcohol. I asked myself, like Waihiga to Waihiga, how you've really given up a lot for alcohol, Waihiga. Like, you've given up a lot for alcohol. You've given up school for alcohol. You've given up basically your acting for alcohol, and you really loved to act. You've given up family relationships. You've given up your looks to drink. And now it's getting to the point where you're going to give up your life to drink. Are you going to be okay with that? Are you going to be okay with the fact that every time you pick up a drink, you're going to get raped? Is that something that you can handle? Because you have now crossed a line. And, as an alcoholic, like, there are these, I think God really looks over us, right? And there were these lines that, imaginary lines that were there. And I kept crossing these lines, these thresholds. And these thresholds were basically warning signs. The first time you go to rehab, that's crossing a line. The first time you get stopped by cops because you're drunk, that's crossing a line. The first time you're in trouble because of alcohol, that's crossing a line. The first time you don't go to class because you were drunk, that's crossing a line. So getting into very dicey situations out there in the middle of the night, getting assaulted, getting raped, solely because you were drunk. You weren't in bed. You weren't in bed like a normal girl your age. I was just walking around, wandering, looking around for alcohol, lost track of time, as I've done many, many, many times. And wrong time, wrong place. And then these things happen. So I had to ask myself, are you okay with getting assaulted every single time you pick up a drink? Because you have now crossed a new line. It's a new threshold now. And for the first time, I really reconsidered my drinking. And I was like, no, I'm not okay with this. Like, I even understood at that point that alcohol could not numb the pain of rape or continuous rape or, just getting assaulted over and over and over again. It's just trauma on trauma on trauma, like piling and piling. I even knew that alcohol was not strong enough to deal with that. So I knew I was now getting into trouble because I was understanding the severity of my problem. I'm trying to stop to drink, but I can't stop drinking. And then it's also landing me in situations where I'm getting raped. So how am I going to stop if I can't stop, but I'm also getting attacked to begin with? Like, I don't know how to stop. And that was a really bad place to be. It's a rock bottom, it's between a rock and a hard place, because you really can't go anywhere from there. You're not dying, like you're not dying immediately, but you're dying very slowly, very painfully, day by day, and you're dying from the soul. And you're dying thinking that there's something completely wrong with you. And all it is that I'm an alcoholic. That was all that it was. And not only am I an alcoholic, I'm an alcoholic with a very treatable sickness. Like, that was the biggest relief of my life. Like, this can be managed. This insanity can be managed, because it was insanity. Then we have the part where it talks about changes in social life. Of course, I used to want to be an actress and a glamorous, the next Beyonce 2.0, a very glamorous, just out there kind of young lady, very pretty, very put together, very self-determined. And I fell off completely. Obviously, I fell off. And my drinking did that, It did that. One of the last points, which I think is the biggest point, is the preoccupation with alcohol. And this is basically an obsession with alcohol. Thinking about it, comparing prices. You know how bad that my obsession with alcohol got? I never used to think in currency anymore. Like, I wouldn't think in 1,000 shillings. 1,000 shillings can buy bread, milk, butter, ice cream, pads. No. My thinking became 1,000 shillings automatically means I can buy 4 quarters. 1,000 shillings means I can buy 2 halves of vodka. 1,000 shillings means I can buy 2 mzingas, which is 2 750 mLs of brandy. And then I'll have like 90 bob left for 10 cigarettes or something. And that was back in the day when I used to drink. I understand alcohol is more expensive these days. But that's how deep my worship for alcohol became. Like, I never used to think, if I get 2,000 shillings, that can be like a really nice lunch. I would be like, 2,000 shillings, that equates to 4 750 ml bottles of brandy and like 2 packs of cigarettes. Boy, I'm gonna have fun. And I didn't think anything was wrong with that, because it's not like you're having these conversations out loud with people. And the people that I was, drinking with and hanging around with at this time, we're all crawling in the same pit. We're all waking up looking for the same drink. We're all meeting up at 7 a.m. at the same spot, putting our 20 bobs together to look for alcohol because we're all sick, right? You drop the friends. If anybody questions you about your drinking or your alcohol, you just drop this friend, move on, and you gravitate towards other drinkers. And that's exactly what I did. So of course, recognizing the early warning signs of alcoholism is crucial for preventing the progression of the debilitating disorder. Increased tolerance, loss of control, neglect of responsibilities, withdrawal symptoms, risky behaviors, social changes, and preoccupations with alcohol are all critical indicators. Early intervention and support can make a significant difference in the lives of those affected by alcoholism, leading to successful recovery and a healthier, more fulfilling life. Education and awareness are key components in addressing this public health issue, encouraging individuals to seek help before the disorder advances. If you or someone you know exhibits this sign, it is essential to reach out for professional help and support. And by that I mean please go on to Google right now. If you believe that you're an alcoholic, go on to Google right now. Look for 12-step meetings on alcoholism. Look for virtual meetings and get onto those meetings right now. I don't care whether they're international meetings, local meetings, whatever it is. Get into a meeting right now and find the freedom that you can get from this incredibly insane disease. Until the next video, thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.